What's up, guys? We are going back to Star Wars Black Series today because we have a brand new wave upon us, and I have gotten a hold of one of them so far. So today we're taking a look at the Battle Droid. That's right, we're going back to the prequels with new Black Series figures, and I personally am quite excited about that. So we've got our Battle Droid here in the standard Black Series packaging. You can see him there in the window. We've got some artwork down there in the bottom. This guy is number 83 in the line, and then we've got a write-up and then more of that artwork on the back. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our Battle Droid, and this is one that honestly I'm surprised it took this long to get, but of course it is the 20th anniversary for Phantom Menace, and the prequel hate has started to subside a little bit these days, which frankly is the perfect time to start pumping these guys out, because you know people are going to really want to army build this thing. And honestly, I'm pretty surprised by some of the stuff that they've packed into this particular figure. Now, I have the Figure Arts version, I have both Figure Arts Battle Droids, and they stack up really, really nicely to each other. This thing honestly has a few surprises in it that I was not even remotely expecting to find. So we're going to start real quick and take a look at articulation, see what this guy can do. It might not be as limited as you expect for something that is, you know, like a stick man, basically. So we will start at the head as usual. You've got the antenna that you can hinge up and down on this guy. So you've got those. The head can swivel at the top of the neck. It's a ball joint that goes into the head, and then he goes up and down, and you can actually swivel at the neck as well and hinge. So you've got 2 points of swivel here, and then you've got hinge at both sides. Now this guy also does this too. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if he's supposed to do this, or if it's something that I'm not remembering, that a Battle Droid's head can pop out of its chest like that, but he can do that, so you've got your options there. We've got arms that can go out about that far. They rotate. You do have a bicep swivel. We've got it's a single joint at the elbow, but it is way more than 90. You've got rotation at the forearm, rotation at the wrist, and you've got hinges. The Figure Arts Battle Droid has finger articulation. Well, sort of finger. It's all one big kind of clamp, but this guy does not. And you've got a little bit of torso rotation here. You've got hinge back and forth. This is where the Figure Arts kind of beats it, but only slightly. It's still not all that great. And then you can hinge at what would be the robo-pelvis, I suppose. Legs do not go out, but that's fine. They really aren't supposed to either. They kick back and forth. You can kind of wiggle them around to help with stability, but it's not really a joint. Legs go all the way back, I mean like all the way. And then you have got rotation at the ankle. There is a little bit of a stopper right here, so it only goes so far. And then you've got rocker, and you've got hinge down at the ankles as well. He also has this, where the antenna on the back of the backpack, they actually pop up. So that's kind of cool. I guess it's not really articulation, but it's a thing that moves. So we'll talk about it now. Maybe be careful with them. They're kind of flimsy. I mean, obviously it's a really, really small piece of plastic, so just keep watch. But this guy's far more articulated than I had expected, and it very much stands up to the Figure Arts really well. Now, as far as the overall look and feel here, I think this guy absolutely nails it. It very much looks like his movie counterpart, and there's not a great deal of paint on this figure, but don't take that to be a negative. He is a Battle Droid, so they are one solid color with a few little marks here and there. So there is a little bit of paint, and he also has some kind of wear and tear as well, just to bring out a little bit, and you know, they've hit it with some dry brushing to make him look kind of worn and stuff. So you've got a lot of line work that runs down the body, and overall, the proportions look really nice. You've got the backpack on the back side here, which has some silver, and it's got some wear on it, as well as some gunk and grime, and that's pretty much all over the figure. And frankly, I thought this guy was going to be a clean Battle Droid. Don't ask me why I thought that. I'm sure I knew this wasn't ahead of time, but when I noticed it in the package, I was pleasantly surprised to see that he does have quite a bit of nicks and scrapes and just a lot of like blast damage on the chest, and that runs down the legs. It's on the inside of the arms. Everything about him, you know, very much looks worn and like he's been in battle. So it works really, really nicely. There's not a great deal to talk about here. It's a Battle Droid. He looks like a Battle Droid. We will, of course, compare to the Figure Arts here shortly, just to give you an idea of what is different about them, because they definitely aren't the same in some respects. But I do like this figure. I do not have an issue with Battle Droids at all. In fact, I need a couple. I'll probably stop at 2 with this guy, because that means I'll have 4 total with the Figure Arts for a little squad. But I think this guy is a much needed entry in the line, and I think Hasbro did a really, really nice job with this particular figure in the looks department. Coupled with the articulation, I think that they've got a bit of a home run on their hands, especially for folks that, of course, like battle droids. You know that someone's going to have a humongous squadron out there at some point, and frankly, they very much just fit the bill. There's no real gripes that I want to lay out with this particular figure. I think the sculpt is nice. I think the color choice is perfect. And again, that battle damage and the paint wear and tear, I think, is a nice touch to just give him a little bit more oomph. Now, as far as comparisons go, we do, of course, have our Black Series on the left and our figure arts on the right, and they're very, very similar. Don't get me wrong. The figure arts does have a little bit of wear and tear as far as paint applications goes, but for the most part, it is still what I would consider a very clean figure. The biggest difference is, of course, their size, and that's just the way it is. It's no different than any other figure comparison between the two lines. So our Black Series is going to be a little taller and a little bit more robust, and then the figure arts is going to be smaller. And the figure arts has always felt really, really flimsy to me. So in comparison, the Black Series seems a little bit more heavy duty. It's still the most flimsy figure in the line for sure. Even more so than IG-88, I think. But they do work pretty well, and, you know, using some perspective, I'm sure you can fudge them a little bit. And then if you really wanted to, you can throw, you know, this battle droid in there as well, the Geonosis counterpart. This is just the way I display that one, with the 3PO head on him at all times. But you've got a pretty good display of figures, and they'll work well enough as far as making a little squad. So I wouldn't say that one is necessarily better than the other, so to speak. And then, of course, you do have the option with both, even though they do have slightly different articulation schemes, they both the Black Series and the figure arts are capable of crunching down and being in the folded up kind of stasis mode for the battle droids, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a humongous selling point, and it's very easy to do. I mean, you basically just put them into a crouch and then they're there. It's all about balance, though. But otherwise, they are very comparable. They're just slightly different. Now, as far as accessories goes, this guy actually has two, and one of which I'm honestly not sure if I'm doing it correctly because, you know, it's a Black Series and there's no instructions, but I don't really know for sure that this is what this is for. So to start, we have the blaster rifle here, and this, of course, is new. So we've got his battle droid style blaster rifle here, which frankly I like. It's black, but it's got a lot of silver dry brushing on it, so there's a nice detail, nice sculpt to it, and I mean, it's the quintessential weapon for this guy, so he kind of has to have it. The other accessory, though, is one that, as best I can tell, you pop his backpack off, because this thing is removable. It's in there pretty well, though, and then you can pop this guy on. So kind of like a comm droid, or even more like a commander, because some droids don't actually have the backpacks. And then you've got this guy that's on there as well, because he's got two peg holes in the back. You can easily put it in either one. It doesn't seem to matter which one you put it in. But then you've got the little antenna that pop off the back. And I found that once this is in there, it's a little difficult to actually take out. But you can swap it on either side, and then, of course, you know, it kind of helps with your posing depending on which way you've got in position. But then you've got another look for your battle droid and maybe make him into something a little different. So overall, I really have, I guess, zero complaints about this figure. It might be kind of weird to say that, frankly, I just really like the battle droid figure. It's maybe a weird concept, but I have no problems with battle droids. They're goofy, they're stupid, but this is a figure. It works. There's really no problems with it. I think the articulation is probably going to surprise some folks. It's definitely more than you might expect. You can get him into that iconic crouching position. He comes with solid accessories, comes with great paint applications, all things considered, for what they are supposed to represent. And the sculpt is on point. And the fact that they are close enough with the figure arts means that I personally don't need to buy a whole bunch of them, because I can use what I've already got, and they'll just go nicely with the other prequel figures that we already have. So this is definitely right up my alley. I really just don't have anything to complain about. So that's going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Battle Droid. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.